I stepped on a nail and it really hurt. Or my stupid right foot found a pointy nail sticking right up out of the ground, and it slid like a frickin' burning dagger into my foot, sending a lance of pain all the way up to my leg, all the way to my hip. Obviously the second one's a little overwritten, but at least it's a little more colorful, and we actually feel something beyond it hurt. So welcome to the Anatomy of Action, part 3. We're going to talk about the skin. In brief, the skin is what is felt. Now, the skin represents kind of our tactile sense, right? There are 5 senses: touch, taste, hearing, sight, smell. Okay. The skin is those sensory inputs to our character as they're experiencing something or involved in something, in this case, a fight scene or an action scene, okay? So it's what is felt. A big key to making sure that the skin of our action scene, what is felt in the action scene, is really successful. A key to that is to make sure that our perspective, our POV, is deep, okay? So there are some things to watch out for when you want to make deeper POV. Phrases like, if it's, first person, I felt, I saw, I knew, I understood, I heard, I looked and saw. Those are phrases that we can put in our first drafts. But when we do a good POV revision, which we should do, by the way, one of our revision cycles for our books and stories should be a POV cycle. So when we do that cycle, we should remove those phrases and rewrite so that we're deeper into that POV, because they kind of bring it up to the surface. And it's a lot about showing versus telling. That's what really people have meant for years when it comes to showing versus telling, okay? It's really to get into deep POV, in my opinion at least. So show it through the main character's eyes. One of the beautiful things about getting deep into the POV is that they're reacting in the same moment that the reader's understanding what's happening. Their character's reacting to something and experiencing this in a way that's unique to the character, so the character is more revealed. Actually, we understand the character better because of a deep POV and because of the way that this is experienced. We see, hey, Johnny over here experiences this particular experience, a sword sliding into his ribs, I don't know, differently from Steve over here, or, I don't know, Nawanda, whatever. So, another reason this is beneficial, not only because it reveals character, is also because in doing that, the stakes continue to remain high, emotionally high, which is very important. There's physical peril in many action scenes because they're fight scenes. But no matter what's happening, even if it's not a fight scene, even if it's a running across a train platform scene to catch your true love, if you're deep in the perspective, the stakes stay high because we're still connected to that main character. So remember this, when you do your revisions, it's okay to fiddle around and have it not be perfect in your first draft. I need to tell myself that, and I need to tell you that. I'm really struggling to get my first draft down of a book. I'll get to it. It's okay. In any case, get it down and then come back and work on the skin of your action scene. So I'm going to slide over here for a second, and you're going to look up here, and you're going to see a section from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. I want you to pause it and just take a look at it, read it for a second, and then unpause it. Hopefully now you unpaused it. You probably saw a few things like I just talked about. Harry saw the knees of the Death Eaters bend. Couldn't we just say the Death Eater's knees bent? We're in Harry's perspective. There are a couple of things that also in your revision process, in your revision cycles, you should just take out. So in the third piece down, the second Death Eater, however, had leapt aside. That is a break in action. That's not good. It's too wordy, it's too explanatory. And a couple of scenes or a couple of moments are really, there's an opportunity missed. So down here about-ish, I don't know, when Harry jumps and launches himself across the floor and grabs the Death Eater around the knees and causes him to topple. JK, you're awesome. Like, truly, you're a good writer. I just wish your editor, I don't know, felt more comfortable with coming back to help with some economy of language. Causing him to topple is a little wordy, just knocking him over or something. There's stylistic and then there's just wordy, right? That's a good quote. There's stylistic and then there's just wordy. Anyway, how did it feel to Harry, who's not a physically combative person, although he's kind of aggressive sometimes? He's not described as a big person who's really comfortable with physical violence, but he just launches himself at this guy's knees, grabs him, and knocks him over. Have you ever tried to do that? Especially if it's somebody's bigger than you. I mean, Harry's still a kid, right? These Death Eaters are adults as far as we know. That's not easy. And it doesn't feel good if you hit somebody's knees. If you hit somebody's knees right here or here or anywhere, they're bony and hard. And the front of somebody's shins where you're grabbing as well, also bony. Give us a taste of how that felt to Harry. And it will feel like we can stay deeper in that scene, and we'll feel the intensity of the scene better. So, the very last full paragraph, the Death Eater had snatched up his wand, which lay on the floor beside the glittering bell jar. It's just, wow. There's got to be a better way to write that. And your revision cycle, you're going to get into the senses so you can make the skin of your action scenes awesome. And you're going to find a way to write that better. Okay. So I'm excited to tell you also that this is just part 3 of this series. We're going to do some deep dives into sections of books or stories or scenes so that we can really get into understanding what is meant by the bones and the organs and the skin, and not get too hung up on the terminology or the categorization of what we're doing, but to really understand what's working in an action scene and what's not working, how to rewrite to make sure our action scenes are great. I don't want us to get too hyper-focused on craft, because readers don't care a ton about craft unless they're like critiquing for awards or something like that. Readers just want a banging good story that they can love, that they can weep over or laugh over or cheer for, that'll move them, okay? That'll take them somewhere. So we're not going to focus too much on craft. We're going to focus just on revising for emotional and entertaining experience. So, as always, thank you for tuning in to my videos. I do appreciate your being patient with me because my computer was dead and now it's back so I can edit videos. Yay! If I couldn't edit videos, you would have seen some pretty stupid bloopers in this one. As always, again, your patience is appreciated, and I love that you watch these whole videos. If you've made it this far, I hope it's been valuable to you. If it's been valuable to you, I'd love it if you'd share with your writer friends. Also, feel free to subscribe somewhere around there and like it and share it all over the place. So until next time, keep reading, keep writing. You're doing great.